Hello everyone, it's Brent Helton. I just wanted to take some time and just talk to you from the Word of God again, and just to go back to the very beginning of the Bible, to the very first verse in the Bible, which says in Genesis 1:1, "In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth." And some of you are probably thinking, why are you sharing this verse with me? I've heard it 100 times. A lot of people know that verse, and that's very true. But I don't want you to miss it. I don't want you to miss that God has always been there since the beginning. He has been there before the world was made, before anything existed, before anything we see in front of us even was put into place. God was there when there was nothing. And He spoke out of His mouth. And when He spoke, He made the mountains and the oceans and the trees and the flowers and the stars and the sun and the moon and the planets, and everything we see came out of one word, or out of the mouth of God, because He made it just by speaking. And I don't want you guys to miss out on that. That everything was made by God. And it's for His purpose and for His glory and for His fame and His fame alone. And I just wanted to know, or wanted to ask you guys, when was the last time you were outside or you were somewhere and you just looked at a flower, or you looked at a mountain, or you looked at a tree or some kind of scenery or something out there that just made you look at it and think, wow, God made that. My God, the God of the universe, made that by the words of out of His mouth. And He formed it and He made it, because our God is a creator and He made it all. And I just don't want you guys to miss that. I don't want you to go through your day and just forget that God made it all. And He has always been there, and He has always been there, and He will always be there. So today I'm going to read the book of Genesis. And I'm just going to start in chapter 1, okay? In Genesis 1:1. And I'm just going to read the whole first chapter, because I want you to see the picture of God creating the world that He made. It says, "In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. Now the earth was formless and empty. Darkness was hovering the surface of the deep, and the Spirit of God was hovering over the waters. And God said, 'Let there be light,' and then there was light. God saw that the light was good, and He separated the light from the darkness. God called the light day, and the darkness He called night. And there was evening and there was morning the first day. And God said, 'Let there be an expanse between the waters to separate water from water.' So God made the expanse and separated the water under the expansion from the water above it. And it was so. God called the expanse sky, and there was evening and there was morning the second day. And God said, 'Let the water under the sky be gathered to one place, and let dry ground appear.' And it was so. God called the dry ground land, and the gathered waters He called seas. And God saw that it was good. Then God said, 'Let the land produce vegetation, seed-bearing plants, and trees on the land that bear fruit with seed in it, according to their various kinds.' And it was so. The land produced vegetation, plants bearing seed according to their kinds, and trees bearing fruit with seed in it according to their kinds. And God saw that it was good. And there was evening and there was morning the third day. And God said, 'Let there be lights in the expanse of the sky, to separate the day from the night, and let them serve as signs to mark seasons and days and years, and let them be lights in the expanse of the sky to give light on the earth.' And it was so. God made two great lights, the greater light to govern the day, and the lesser light to govern the night. He also made the stars. God set them in the expanse of the sky to give light on the earth, to govern the day and the night, and to separate light from darkness. And God saw that it was good." And there was evening and there was morning the fourth day. And God said, let the waters teem with the living creatures. Let the birds fly above the earth across the expanse of the sky. So God created the creatures of the sea and everything and every living and moving thing with which the water teems according to their kinds, and every winged bird according to its kind. And God saw that it was good. God blessed them and said, be fruitful and increase in number and fill the water in the seas and let the birds increase on the earth. And there was evening and there was morning the fifth day. And God said, let the land produce living creatures according to their kinds, livestock creatures that move along the ground, and wild animals, each according to its kind. And it was so. God made the wild animals according to their kinds, the livestock according to their kinds, and all the creatures that move along the ground according to their kinds. And God saw that it was good. And God said, let us make man in our image, in our likeness, and let them rule over the fish of the sea and the birds of the air, over the livestock, over the earth, over all the earth, and over all the creatures that move along the ground. This is the part I want you to hear. So God created man in his own image. In the image of God he created him. Male and female he created them. God blessed them and said to them, be fruitful and increase in number, fill the earth and subdue it. Rule over the fish of the sea and the birds of the air and over every living creature that moves on the ground. Then God said, I give you every seed-bearing plant on the face of the whole earth, and every tree that has fruit with seed in it. They will be yours for food. And to all the beasts of the earth, and all the birds of the air, and all the creatures that move on the ground, everything that has the breath of life in it, I give every green plant for food. And it was so. God saw all that he had made, and it was very good. And there was evening and there was morning the sixth day. And then I'm going to read the first 3 verses of chapter 2 of Genesis. It says, thus the heavens and the earth were completed in all their vast array. By the seventh day God had finished the work he had been doing. So on the seventh day he rested from all his work. And God blessed the seventh day and made it holy, because on it he rested from all the work of creating that he had done. The reason I wanted to share the first chapter of Genesis with you this morning is because I don't want you to miss out on our Creator. God has always been there. He is the one that put everything together that we see in front of us every single day. And I don't want you to miss that. And as we read through the first chapter of Genesis, we see day after day after day that God created all these things, from trees to plants to fish to the land to the stars and the moon, the sky, you name it. God made it day by day. He spoke it out of his mouth and it came into existence. And then he made man. And when he made man, he says, and it says in Genesis 1:27, so God created man in his own image. In the image of God he created him. Male and female he created them. God, when he made man and he made woman, he looked at us as unique and special. He knew that we would be a people that he desired for us to make his name great on the planet, to make his glory so known and so exalted that he desired to see a world of people that were made in his image to make his name great and famous on this planet. And he desires for us to be made in his image. We are made in his image, and he desires every day for each and every one of us to be more like him, because he made us in his image. And that's just the beginning. The beginning was that God made us, and he made Adam and Eve. As you read on in chapter 2, you'll learn about Adam and Eve, and most people know that story. And when you get to chapter 2, Adam and Eve fall. They sin. And because of that sin and because of our fall, God had to send someone to save us and to redeem us. And as we read throughout the Bible, we realize that that was Jesus. He had to come and die on a cross for us, to save us, to redeem us, so that we may be the men and women of God that He desires to save, so that we may worship Him and make Him famous and to glorify His name forever and ever. So I'm going to stop right there for today. And in the next video, I will talk more about the fall. I'll talk about Adam and Eve. But I just don't want you to miss out on the creation of the world. Do you believe that God created the world? That He's still our creator? That He's the one that makes everything? That He put it all together? He's the one that just spoke out of His mouth and everything came into existence. And when He made us, when He made man and woman, He looked at us and He said, I want man and woman. I want you to go and I want you to rule the earth. I want you to go out and I want you to expand the earth. Because He knew that He was going to make us His people. A people that would worship Him, that would live their lives for Him. And that still applies to this very day. God still wants us to worship Him. God still looks down on us and He says, wow, that is my son, that is my daughter, that is my man, that is a man of God, that is a woman of God that I created, that God created, and He is looking for people that will worship Him, that will live for Him, that will love Him, and to make His name great all over this world. So that's my prayer today. That we would read through Genesis 1 and we will see the creation of the world. And as we go through our day and as we go out into the cities where we live or wherever we are, or to our jobs or to our families, whenever we're outside or we're anywhere, my prayer is that we would just look at everything that God made and we will know that He is the one that made it all, and His glory and His fame is being exalted all over this world just by looking at everything that He made out of the words that came out of His mouth. And I think that is so amazing and so great to know that we have a God who is our creator, and He loves us, and He desires to have a relationship with us. So I just pray that you will take that with you today. That you will go out to wherever you are, no matter where you are, and you will just look at everything God has made, even down to the simplest flower or the simplest little piece of grass on the ground, or a mountain, or the sky, or the stars. Just look at what our God made. And just know that everything was made to make His name great and famous all over this world and all over this universe. So that's my challenge for you today. Go outside, go see what God has made, and just praise Him for everything that He has done. Because when you read Genesis 1, and every time He makes something, He says, it was good. Everything God made is good. And then He made man. And He wants to make us in His image, in His likeness. And He desires to love us and to know us so that we may make His name great and famous all over this world. I love you guys. I pray for you daily. I think about you daily. I know that many of you are watching this and I have no idea who you are, but I just pray for you. I pray that God will put something inside of you that will make you realize that life and everything that has been made is all about Jesus, about his fame and his glory and his majesty on this planet and in our lives. I love you guys, and I'll talk to you soon.